If you're a beginner guitarist watching this and you're like, how do I get to the next level? And I feel like it took me so long to figure out like how to get to intermediate level or like get me out of beginner guitar. The first thing that gets you out of being a beginner guitar player and gets you to intermediate guitar playing pretty quickly is getting away from the cowboy chords. So if you don't know what cowboy chords mean, they're called cowboy chords for a reason. Oh, but yeah, so that's what I mean by cowboy chords. You got your C, C major, D major, G major, C add 9. When I was first learning chords, I felt so cool learning that chord, but it's really just a G, and you move the first 2 fingers down, and it just sounds so pretty. And for me, I felt like I was going to the next level once I started trying to learn bar chords, and once I was getting away from using my capo for songs. Now I never use a capo. I would rather transpose the song. I don't know. I guess it just depends on the song. You know, you might need the capo, but most of the time you don't need the capo because the capo is just transposing the whole guitar. There's a lot to this, so I'm going to take it in small parts, but moving to bar chords, learning bar chords on your guitar based on the 6th string. So you're basing your root of the chord. So if you have a G major, instead of playing it like this, like cowboy, you would play it in a bar chord. So same thing for A minor. You'd play the bar chord version of that. And it just sounds so much better. There are some tips I have for learning bar chords. I might do another video on that because there's just so much to it. They will be hard. They will hurt your fingers. It does take a second to build up some strength to it, but totally worth it. And I'm telling you, once you learn your bar chords, at least in root position, based off the 6th string, your life will get a little bit easier with guitar playing. So second thing is I started jamming and improvising to YouTube jam tracks. And this is kind of going into my last one, but yeah, I started improvising on jam tracks on YouTube, just finding something I liked and just trying to play a solo to it. I would usually just go on YouTube and I would type in jam track in let's just do A minor blues backing track. And then yeah, I would just take what I know and try to make music with it. I don't know how long that was or how good that was, but yeah, I would just go on a band. I would go on YouTube, find a jam track that was decent or at least something that I can bop my head to, and I would just try and solo over it. Getting away from cowboy chords, going to bar chords, and then starting to improvise and, you know, ask myself, what key is this in? And trying to use my ear and figure out like what notes sound good, not knowing that much music theory or anything. Yeah, I hope that kind of helps. Let me know if I need to dive more into each of these topics, like bar chords, how to play them. Which brings me to my last one. I feel like once I learned this scale, it kind of just catapulted me into music theory and trying to figure out, okay, what exactly am I playing? How does this work? My last tip to get you out of being a beginner guitar player and moving you to intermediate level is, I think, learning your pentatonic scale. So you might have heard it, may have not. It's a very handy scale to know. It's kind of just like, oh, you're gonna knock my laptop over. It's kind of just like a scale to have in your back pocket. But it's a good starting scale to learn when you have no idea what music theory is or how that works. So this is a really good entryway into music theory and scales and such. Pentatonic scale has only 5 notes. And it's also in the word pentatonic. Pent, if you remember from math class, means 5. So they usually had like a house or something. I don't know. I haven't been to school in a long time. Whenever you're thinking of pentatonic scale, just know it means 5 notes. And that's literally all it takes to make music. It literally 5 notes. So how you're gonna find your pentatonic scale. So for A minor pentatonic, I'm just gonna find where my A is on my guitar, which is on my 5th fret. I know that's my my A. So it's gonna go index, pinky, index, ring, index, ring, index, ring. Then the last 2 strings is gonna be your first finger and your pinky. That's just like your first position of your pentatonic scale. So by positions, there's lots of places you can play this scale. And that's where I will say knowing your notes on your fretboard makes the positions a lot easier to like figure out where they are. After a while, you kind of just learn, you recognize shapes on the guitar. Yeah, I would say last tip is basically learn your pentatonic scale and then make music with just that first position. And then once you get bored, start making music with the first and second position of the pentatonic scale, depending on which key you're playing in. Find a track on YouTube and just start, just jump in, just do it. And what I've realized after 15, 16 years of playing guitar and playing this instrument is you just gotta try. You just gotta do it. There's no right or wrong way. Of course, there's rules or certain things you should do on guitar, but I think everybody plays guitar differently. Everybody is different. It's hard to pinpoint and say, you should do this, you should do that. These are just some things that I feel like helped me when I was a beginner guitarist, and then getting away from my cowboy chords, learning bar chords, starting to learn how to improvise and jam to a track just like by myself, which isn't that fun, but it's a good exercise just to get you kind of creative and making music. And I think at the end of the day, that's all that really matters. Just have fun, make music. I hope you took away something from this video. I hope I made sense. I'm just kind of going off the top of my head right now. Oh, Francis, he wants to say bye. So yeah, I'm just gonna play guitar until my baby wakes up. This song's for you, Fran. Ow, Fran. What are you doing? What are you doing, Fran? Ugh.